So before we get into the conversation, please understand me when I say this. I am a huge advocate for female wrestling. I am someone that believes, if done right, an all-women's pay-per-view can sell out just as well as an all-men's show. I believe that. I think at their best, with the right storylines, with the right storytelling, with the right stars in the right places, the right main event, mid-card, undercard, they could do 10, 15, 20,000 easy. Easy. I do believe women's wrestling can draw. The problem is, it feels like WWE seems to undercut the women, whether it's intentionally or not. They seem to always undercut the women in ways that stop them from hitting 10, 15, 20, whatever potential they could hit. And we're seeing that, unfortunately, with Evolution 2. So, let me give you some updates on what's happening with this show. As of today, this is the 7th of July. The pay-per-view is on the 13th. As of today, they've only sold 4,800 tickets, around 5,000. I'll round it up. I'll round it up to 5,000. 5,000. Now, in comparison, Allstate Arena, they're doing Saturday night's main event the day before, on Saturday, July 12th. And that show is going to sell out. It's Goldberg's retirement match. It's Atlanta, Georgia. Goldberg's last match. He's from Atlanta. He's going to sell that out. They're looking to do 12,000, 13,000, as you would expect. The women are in the same arena the very next day. Now, originally, the women had their own arena, the Mohegan Sun, right? Mohegan Sun Arena, which only seats 10,000. They would have sold that out. And it took place, originally scheduled, on July 5th, which was this past Saturday. If they would have done the show at the Mohegan Sun Arena on July 5th, a weekend when nothing was happening, they would have sold that out. Easily. 10,000. Without question. All women's pay-per-view. But instead of giving the women their own spotlight, their own weekend, which is what they deserved, WWE, Triple H, Nick Khan, whoever involved, got greedy. And they wanted to hurt AEW. Now, they already were hurting AEW by having Saturday night's main event. That was already going to hurt AEW. Especially when you consider AEW is making people pay $50 to watch them. Here they're giving Goldberg's retirement away for free. For free. Well, yes, it's for free on TV. But if you're paying on Peacock, you're spending at least $15 without ads. But for free on TV, essentially. That was already going to hurt AEW. But that wasn't enough for them. They had to overdo it. They got greedy. And instead of just letting it be Saturday night's main event, they had to throw in NXT and then the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. And so what ended up happening, they cut their noses off to spite their face. Now Evolution and NXT are suffering. When you could have just done the women one weekend, NXT another weekend, and just let this be Saturday night's main event, or not compete with AEW. Just let AEW have this weekend to themselves. But they couldn't help themselves. They could not help themselves. They had to try and hurt Tony Khan. And unfortunately, in trying to do that, they might end up hurting themselves in the long run, because as of today, AEW All In is at 20,000 tickets. So when it comes to optics, AEW is going to do more tickets than all three shows. Now, does this mean the Evolution pay-per-view is going to suck? And that you should skip it altogether? Absolutely not. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to bring awareness to what they're going through currently. They're suffering. The pay-per-view is suffering because WWE set it up to fail. I'm sorry. Triple H, Nick Khan, whoever set this up, you set the women up to fail. And the women know that. Fightful Select released a report talking about the women themselves. The female roster is pissed. They're upset that they moved them away from July 5th. If they had their own weekend, they would have done so much better. But since you're having them compete, unfortunately, not just with AEW or just with any other show, but you're also having them compete with Beyonce, who's having a concert right next door to them, also in Atlanta. It was just a terrible day to do this. And it's bad enough that some women got hurt. Liv Morgan injured, Bianca Belair injured. I don't know what this card would have looked like if they weren't injured. And that threw out the Bella Twins, or at least Nikki Bella. Maybe Nikki will be a part of this Battle Royal. We'll see where she ends up at. But there were already things working against it. You didn't need to hurt them even more. You set them up for failure. WWE set them up for failure for no other reason than to hurt AEW. And they don't deserve that. And when this pay-per-view ends up not doing the numbers that they're hoping for, guess who they're going to blame? They're going to blame the women. It is not the women's fault. It's the company's fault. It's TKO's fault. It's WWE's fault. You set them up for failure. This isn't the women's problem. And I'm doing this video to help you understand that. To help all of you understand that it's not the fault of the women if this show doesn't do good numbers. And I'm hoping by bringing awareness to this, we could get some tickets sold. Because they deserve to have a good show. Now, maybe something will be done this week to help get those numbers up. But I don't know. It's the week of. They're going to have to do something drastic. Because right now, it ain't looking good. And that's not fair. They don't have a Ronda Rousey this time around. They don't have massive feuds like Becky versus Charlotte. Becky having the run of a century. That's what helped Evolution. And also, the fact that the women got screwed over and they couldn't go to Saudi Arabia. They had that too. But regardless, that's what helped 2018 Evolution. 7 years later, they pulled it out of the bag because they want to hurt AEW. Although it was originally scheduled for July 5th. Which is where it should have stayed, by the way. But despite all this craziness, I think the card is actually looking really good. It's not set yet, which is also a problem. I don't like the fact that we're still trying to build the card the week of. You would think WWE would be better than that. That's one of the things Triple H had over Tony Khan. What the hell happened? Something's going on, y'all. Something's going on with Triple H. I say that as someone who does care about WWE, who does care about what they're doing. All this money that they're making. The business that they're doing. I care about this. I'm seeing cracks in the armor. I don't know what's causing it, but there are cracks in this armor, and I hope it gets addressed very soon. This card itself, though, you have 3 big-time matches that I'm looking forward to. But we'll start with Jade Cargill versus Naomi. No holds barred. Simple match. I'm pretty sure Jade will win because Naomi is Mrs. Money in the Bank. She can take a loss. And she'll cash in on Jade at SummerSlam and get her revenge back. Probably with the help of Bianca Belair. Now, when we get Bianca Belair on this show, if we are going to get her, it will be in this match. So she might play a factor here. We'll see. We have a women's battle royal. The winner of this match gets to fight for the women's title at Clash in Paris. Clash in Paris. I have no idea who's going to be in it or who's going to win it. I'm assuming Stephanie Vaquer will be involved here. If she is involved in this match, that's my pick to win. Stephanie Vaquer, 100%. The Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way, which includes reigning defending champs Roxanne Perez, who's replacing Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez, who had an excellent match against Rhea Ripley at the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, Night of Champions. They're taking on 3 other teams. One from Raw, one from SmackDown, and one from NXT. The SmackDown team is Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I'm assuming the Raw team's going to be Natalya and Maxine Dupree, but it might also be Asuka and Kairi Sane. Probably Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then the NXT tag team, Sol Ruka and Zarya? I have no idea. Because I thought about that for a minute. Who would compete for this on NXT other than those two? I don't know. We got to have Lola Vice on here somewhere, right? Because she's not on the show. Maybe Jada Parker on Lola Vice? It don't matter because Raquel and Roxanne are going to win. But you would think if we're going to have any NXT wrestlers on here, probably Lola Vice and Jada Parker. But actually, I'm absolutely fine with it being Zarya and Soruka. Soruka should hit her finisher. Please have her hit her finisher. The Snow Snatcher. The Snow Snatcher? The Soul Snatcher. Your soul is mine. And then you have the NXT Women's Championship, Jacy Jayne versus Jordynne Grace. Wow. I'm very surprised that not Mariah May. What is her name? Blake Monroe? Blake Monroe, right? It's the same person. I'm shocked they didn't give this to Blake Monroe. Jordynne Grace, though? 100%. And yes, Jordynne Grace will win. Guarantee you, Jordynne Grace is going to win the NXT Women's title. She better. And she'll be a great NXT Women's champ before they call her up to the main roster. Where she should be, by the way. And then the top 3 matches, as they should be, we got a triple threat for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Lyra, Valkyria. This should be an excellent match. All 3 have shown us that when they get together, they work magic. I'm excited about this. Becky will retain. Becky most likely ain't dropping that belt until maybe SummerSlam, and that's a strong maybe. But this isn't the last time we'll see these 3 working together. I promise you. We might run it back again at SummerSlam, somehow, someway. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus for the Women's Championship, the WWE Women's Championship. So, a lot of people feel like this is rushed. I can see that, but not really. This has been kind of played up for a bit. Remember, they were tag team partners back in February for Elimination Chamber. Or was that March? I think it was March when they did Chamber. I'm sorry, my timeline's all kinds of messed up. March felt like February. That's usually when Chamber is. I have no problem with this. My only issue is I wish they would have given this more time to build. Like, they could have scheduled this, I don't know, a month in advance. They had plenty of time to make Trish Tiffany's opponent. You could have had Trish return in June and help out with that feud between her and Nia. Since she was involved in a match with Nia and Candice LeRae. Yeah, I feel like we could have done this a bit better. And if you think this is rushed, I don't blame you. But to say it doesn't make sense, that's just disingenuous. It makes sense. And this will be a great match. I'm not worried about the quality of the match. I'm a bit concerned about the way it was built. Again, the cracks are showing in the armor. I don't know what's going on with Triple H, but this has been done better on NXT. The quality of these pay-per-views, the builds, were done better on NXT. So something happened. Main event will be, I promise you, will be Iyo Sky versus Rhea Ripley. You're not topping that match. That's going to be an excellent match. I hate to be that guy, but I think they might need to drop the belt from Iyo Sky. I'm sorry, they're not booking her like a women's champ. I don't even remember the last time she defended that belt. Was it WrestleMania? No, not WrestleMania. She has to have had at least one title defense. No, I think it was WrestleMania. You're kidding me. I genuinely don't remember the last time she defended this belt outside of WrestleMania. And if that's the case, that's a massive fucking red flag. Something's going on there. Why would you give Iyo Sky not only a massive win over Rhea Ripley, and then another massive win at WrestleMania, and then do nothing with her? That does not sound like Triple H. What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, whatever. This is when she wins it back. Unless they turn her heel and have her lose to Iyo Sky and then do the rematch at SummerSlam and then give Rhea the belt there. We'll see. But no, I don't like that. I don't like how they treated Iyo Sky like essentially a placeholder. I'm sorry. It doesn't feel like she's been a strong standing champ. You would think she would be defending this belt at least every other week. You got plenty of women for her to fight against. Like Stephanie McCare. I don't know. That's so weird. Regardless of the build and the booking, I do feel like this is going to be another excellent match between Rhea and Iyo. The story is there. Rhea can't beat Iyo. Will she finally put that demon to rest? Or will she lose again, turn heel, and then we'll do her and Iyo one more time at SummerSlam? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But the card itself, I'm not worried about. I think the show, when it comes to what happens inside the ring, it's going to be a great show. The card is stacked, and we're not even done yet. You know that Battle Royale is going to be nuts. I'm expecting Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky and Bayley to be an excellent match. I'm expecting Jordynne Grace to have a great match with Jacy Jayne. You already know Trish and Tiffany are going to have a great match. Jade Cargill and Naomi are going to kill it. Listen, the matches are going to be great. The pay-per-view, PLE, is going to deliver. It's just been set up for failure. This weekend is going to be challenging because fans are being forced to choose between NXT Great American Bash, I believe, AEW All In, Saturday Night's Main Event, or this show. Let me just help you understand what we're looking at here. NXT is most likely going to go, 2.5 hours, if that? Let's just round it up to 3 hours. 3 hours for the NXT PLE. Saturday Night's Main Event is 2 hours flat, so that's 5 hours. All In's going to go, Jesus Christ. At minimum, 3.5 hours, probably 4 hours. So we're looking at tops 9 hours. And then 3 hours for the women's pay-per-view. That's 12 hours. If you decide to watch all of that. That's just oversaturating the market. I prefer that you would have just given the women July 5th. They would have sold out the arena, had the weekend to themselves, done great business for you. But you got greedy. You wanted to hurt AEW, and now you're hurting NXT, the women's show, and potentially Saturday Night's Main Event all at once because you're oversaturating the market just to hurt Tony Khan. When you could have just did Goldberg's retirement. And that's it. Left it at that. Regardless, if you can support the women, please do. If you're able to buy tickets, trust me, the show is going to be worth it. The show is going to be worth it. Go and see them. Go and see them. Because the women are not going to get these opportunities anymore if they can't bring in the money. If they keep not delivering when it counts. So I am imploring the people who can, please support the women. And that will do great things for them. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. Let's hope they do well. I want this pay-per-view to be successful. But I hate the fact that WWE essentially set them up to fail. Let's see if the women can still carry us to a good show. I hope you guys are having a good day. And I'll see you guys next time right here in Alyx's World. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.